Neonic Void Productions presents.
Okay. Wow. I paused the movie of Red, White, and Royal Blue on a very interesting shot. My God, they're so hot. Hi, welcome to Spookocalypse, where we do things that are spooky. I'm your host.
You're having doubts about your intro.
I was like, what am I doing?
It's almost like a life question. It's like, where we do things that are spooky. What the fuck am I doing?
What the fuck am I doing? Hi, I'm Zio. And today I'm joined with, the usual peeps. Bunyip, Housekeeper, and the horror. Kaiju Groupie.
Hey, I've never accepted money for it.
Oh, have you accepted food? Rest my case. No? Okay. There was a pause there.
Because I was thinking, like, have I?
I surely have accepted food for sucking dick. Oh God, I'm a whore. Okay, cool. God.
Yeah, so you're the actual.
We're cutting that part out. We're cutting that part out. I'm the whore.
No,
I'm the whore here.
You're gonna leave that out. You're gonna leave that in because everyone deserves to know how much of a whore you are.
Yeah.
So anyway, today we are here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm cutting that part out. Yeah, we're here. Hi, we're here. We're doing things.
We're queer.
We're queer. Well, 3 out of 4 of us are queer, and yeah. So, housekeeper, take it away, please. I don't know what's happening. What is life right now?
Tired. I'm tired. If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. Oh, I'm sorry. Follow us on whatever the fuck this site is called, formerly known as Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We also have a YouTube. If you are from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like, share, subscribe, drop a comment to tell us what you want us to review next. Or tell us your own rating on this movie if you have watched it yourself. We're going to be doing spooky shit now. Let's get on to the discussion. Mints will be on the pillow.
Today's flavor of mint is, what would be light? What flavor would be like a good representation of light from the planet Light?
I have no fucking idea, dude.
Planet of Light.
It's flashlight flavored.
Ew. Cinnamon?
We've already done cinnamon like twice.
You know what? Right now, since I'm the housekeeper and I'm the one who puts the mints, there's not even a mint today. It's just a pack of Reese's Pieces on your pillow.
Pack of Reese's Pieces.
That's what I'm snacking on right now.
Someone forgot to supply the mints, so they just went to the nearby store and got some Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah,
fire the mint.
Like
the mint production.
I just have like one of those like Sam's like giant bags of Reese's Pieces. There's just handful. There's like a handful of Reese's Pieces on your pillow.
Ew, the chocolate melt on the pillow.
No, not if you keep the it won't melt. The freaking we leave the rooms nice at a nice crisp 64, so the chocolate will not melt.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Now, whether or not there's dog hair, I can't guarantee. That's
so today will be the last episode of this month's theme of kaiju films.
Wah wah.
Boo hoo, cry wham.
It's a crime.
Wait, hold
It's
on.
not a crime.
Wait,
It's a
hold on.
shame.
Oh my god.
How dare.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god. So to end out the month, we're watching a movie that's not a scary movie in any way or any way, shape, or form, unlike the other three. Because you could say the original Godzilla, Cloverfield, of course, and then Shin Godzilla could be more terrifying than this film. Today, we are watching Shin Ultraman, or I like to call him Shin Camp Man. Let me tell you, this film's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's my two
this movie
cents.
was. Yeah, this movie was like so ridiculous and out there.
I love camp, but this is full on Power Rangers Japanese camp with a budget.
Yeah, you're not the one who like forced. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, Kaiju Groupie. You're the one who basically dragged some of us to this movie.
I should have gone, but I didn't.
Yeah, I did because I didn't want to see it alone. And it was a good movie. I loved it.
Did you not love it, Housekeeper? I do remember you saying, "Oh my god, Devin! Oh my god, Zia, you would have loved it."
Yeah, because I was like, this movie is so camp, and I was like, I know exactly the person who would love this movie.
And I was living through some parts, and then some parts, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching? What is this? Hello?"
Honestly, I watched it because one of my favorite voice actors acts in the movie.
Which one?
Oh gosh, hold on. I have to see if this is it. Num num num. Hold on. There is one. I just don't remember what his name is, but he acts as like a couple of my favorite characters as a voice actor. I just have to look him up. Um,
While you're looking him up, Shin Ultraman's, of course, part of the series of films known as Shin Japan Heroes Universe.
did we
This
did we
is
watch the Japanese version or did we watch the dub version?
of what?
In
We watched the Japanese version. Japanese with English subtitles.
But yes, this was a collective project between 4 different studios: Toho, uh, Kahara.
or I'm sorry, he's not a voice actor, but he's someone that I have watched dramas of him in, and and movies, and it's Takumi Sato. He's been in, oh gosh, he was in the live action of Ace Attorney. He was in the Kaiba the Fangs of Fiction, like The House of Glass, um High and Low, The Red Rain, like Doctor's Affairs, like Boys Love, like things like that. He was also in Shin Godzilla, and he was also in Shin Kamen Rider.
Yes, I was about to get to that. A lot of these actors are used throughout these 4 different films that were released. The films of this collective are Shin Godzilla, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.1, Thrice Upon a Time, Shin Ultraman, and Shin Kamen Rider. These films are not really all. These films are not connected in any way or shape or
Oh,
form, in my opinion. But well,
and Kinjiro Suda. Kinjiro Suda is he voice acts as Nanami in Jujutsu Kaisen.
cool.
So I was like, wait, there is a voice actor that I really like that's in this movie. But yeah, Kinjiro Suda. Very good voice actor. He also plays the husband in Ways of a House Husband, Tatsu. So yeah, he's one of my favorite voice actors. I like him a lot.
But I will say though, even though they'll never acknowledge it because it's two different companies technically. I would say Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla are in the same world. I have a running headcanon theory, and it makes perfect sense.
A lot of people have that theory though.
That Shin Godzilla was the first kaiju of that universe, and then the others followed. So Shin Ultraman technically, it kind of in the future after Godzilla died, and all these other kaijus are popping up. Because if you look at the kaijus, they have the same look on their face, same beady little eyes, everything. They're very similar to Shin Godzilla, and kind of a less creepy though, but
head empty.
yeah, they're less eldritch, less creepy, and kind of horrifying. Because Shin Godzilla is kind of horrifying, but Shin Ultraman, just go full on guys in suits mixed with CG, maybe all CGI, but look like guys in suits mixed with CGI. Cool living. Yes, Shin Ultraman, released in 2022. To a budget of 800 and 900 million yen. And it made $34.4 million in its run. It did not make a lot of money. But I don't think they make these films to make a lot of money. So I don't think they care really too much about that. To be perfectly honest. I do find it funny that the series is called the Shin Japan Heroes Universe and Godzilla's in it because Godzilla's not a hero. Well, at least Shin Godzilla wasn't.
Fun fact. So the original Ultraman series, because all of these Toho got all of their rubber suits from the same guy. A lot of the monsters from both, a lot of the monsters that pop up in Ultraman were actually recycled suits from many of the Godzilla movies. So, and they did the same thing in this movie. So, like in the opening act, when they're talking about all like the monster incursions and things like that, that's also a bit of a callback to the precursor to Ultraman, which is a show called Ultra Q, where it was like an anthology series where a bunch of different monsters pop up throughout Japan, and then led up into Ultraman. But one of the monster suits was actually a repurposed Godzilla suit. And we do see that in this movie. Like one of the first kaiju they show, it was basically Shin Godzilla, but they like altered the suit so it had like I think it had like a frill around its neck, and it oh god, what monster was it? And it had like they changed his dorsal spines to look more spiky.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, oh, they did it. They did it. Insert Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like pointing at the screen, just like they did it. They did it again. Fucking knew it.
Yeah. They did it without actually saying they did it because they can't say they did it because it's two different studios. Not talking about Toho because Toho is part of both, but there are two other studios that are involved that are not involved in both projects, so they can't very well do that. But they did it without saying they did it, which is a shame.
Yeah, and they did that a lot throughout the original Ultraman series. So like I bought Ultra Q and the first series of Ultraman, and as well as its sequel series. I haven't finished them, but like as I was watching Ultra Q and the first few episodes of Ultraman, some of the monsters, I was like, oh, that's fucking Godzilla right there, or that's oh come on, that looked like Anguirus. So they did that a lot.
So, Shin Ultraman. Who wants to do Shin Ultraman? Wow. Don't all volunteer at once.
There was a lot of breaking up. I couldn't hear shit, to be honest.
I said, who wants to do Shin Ultraman?
Still breaking up.
What?
Hang on. I could look up a plot summary to just jog my memory a little bit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's what I thought. Oh, you're breaking up, bitch.
You were breaking up, so I don't know what the fuck to tell you, dude.
You need to check your internet.
It ain't my internet.
It ain't mine. My signal's full, thank you.
You sure about that?
I'm seeing it right here in my 4 eyes.
Oh, hold up. You know what? You know what? It might be mine. Oh wait, no. No.
It wouldn't be yours because it was Zio, the one that was breaking up.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
All right, so it starts off with like all these kaiju have been attacking Japan over the years, and they finally are like, let's build an organization like built on fighting these things.
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty much what they do, and they give each of them some kind of name. And
I believe it was the
S-Class, SSSP.
yes, it's like they only show up in Japan. They don't know why, but they're like, we're gonna fight off all these big giant kaiju, and they pretty much rely on just military weaponry to do so. But one of them was like, they found a way to freeze this kaiju. I'm like, oh, like Shin Godzilla. Like it shows them like here's the kaiju that shows up, and then here is how they defeated it. And then they come across their first challenge where like it's an invisible kaiju that feeds on electricity, and they don't know how to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly Ultraman shows up out of nowhere, and they're like, who is that? Is he a
Who
threat?
the fuck is that?
That's fucking Obi-Wan
Oh my
Kenobi.
god, what is that? Oh my god.
Yep. And then this new silver giant fights off Neronga, which is what they call it, the kaiju. And at the same time, like the people are at this base, they see it on camera, like this one kid that's just running out into the woods. It's like, oh great, we gotta save this kid because he really shouldn't be here.
Oh no. Yeah.
But then they
Yeah, and
witness the giant take down Neronga almost effortlessly.
Power Ranger
he's
style.
he like makes a T with his arms and uses like what do they
Zippy
call the
zappity.
Yeah, he just basically obliterates Naranga.
See, after seeing this, I'm like, I want to see a Shin Sentai. Oh god, what's Sentai Shinchi? That's what I want to see next. Shin Power Rangers.
Shin
Oh,
Power
God.
Rangers. That's funny.
I love Power Rangers.
Honestly, this in the next fight were my favorite parts of the movie because it's like I wanted to see kaiju versus kaiju, and I got that, but I didn't see enough. It was just 2 encounters, and then they had different kind of encounters that weren't necessarily giant. It was just they become giant later. It's complicated.
Yeah,
It's
very
complicated.
Power Ranger style. Like the bad guy is like the first initial monsters were all colossal, and then they met like oh god, I forgot how many like other alien monsters they met. Like I think there was just I think it was just one alien that could like change its size. It was like human size at first when they first encountered it, and then when they finally like confront it later, it turned
You're talking
into
about
like
Zarab,
yeah.
not Zarafi. Zarafi? Zarafi. The two aliens they meet is Zarab and then Zarafi. That's not until Zarafi's later. And we continue.
And how this, I'm not sure how to describe either the cinematography or how the characters act. It kind of feels like an anime, just how they
Yeah.
speak and how they act, especially
Yep.
Asami, who like always smacks herself on the butt as like a way to hype herself up.
I was like, what
Yeah,
is this?
they did that on purpose. The creator of this movie was like, I wanted to give a nod to the old Ultraman show. So that's like the type of air he was giving. Like whenever we watched it in theaters, they had like a whole interview with him. And he goes, it's like, I have such a love for Ultraman, and like I wanted the people to watch this movie to feel the nostalgia that I have while I was making the movie. So
And the
you know,
music in that scene also adds to this.
Yeah.
It just feels like, oh no, we're in danger. What do we do? And then superhero shows up. Oh my god, who is that man?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Shinji.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. But yeah,
Fucking Shinji.
one of the
fucking
SSSP
Shinji.
members, Shinji, does try to save the child, and it seems like where there's the explosion from finishing off the monster, and you're like, what happened to them? And then like the child's okay, Shinji is injured, and he reports back, and then Asami submits a report and refers to it as Ultraman. I think they
First
pronounce it like
off,
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Yeah.
Ultraman.
Yeah.
First off, little side note. When I found out the main character's name, the guy who's Ultraman was spoiler alert, Shinji, I was like, Shinji, oh wow, how funny. Ha ha ha. The guy who made the anime Neon Just Evangelion named another main character Shinji. Ha ha ha. Fucking hate Shinji. Fucking hate Shinji so goddamn much. Oh, I hate him.
You got to think of a different Shinji, bro. There's different Shinjis out there.
I know,
really
but
are.
that's why he used the name, because he wrote it. That's why he used the name. Exactly why he used the name, because there's no other reason why to use that name than try to make a tie back to your first, not your first, but one of your big hits that everyone knows you for. Of course, you're going to use fucking Shinji.
Talking about from
Zio, do
Evangelion.
you hate this Evangelion?
Neon Genesis
Dude,
Evangelion.
that
I love
Shinji-
it.
That Shinji's a bitch.
I love Neon Genesis Evangelion, but the main character is so revolting. I can't sit through the show half the time. I can only watch the Rebuild series because in the series itself, he is so just
Annoying.
I can't. And I like Neon Genesis Evangelion. I love the religious symbolism they had that the Ano puts through it all, and how the story is literally just him contemplating his religious beliefs and how he's wrestling with the fact if he wants to stay religious or not. And the whole show's illustrating that, as well as these robots are biological living things. It's a deconstruction of the mecha genre, and it's amazing. But the main character just makes it almost unwatchable.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's my TED talk.
Yeah, that guy is so bitchy, but
My God, everybody hates Shinji.
yeah.
Everybody
Just
who
put a bullet in
watches
his
that.
head. They should have done that in like the first 2 episodes, and the rest of the series would have been fine, and their problems would have been solved. Like, put someone
Well,
else
to
in
be
the suit.
fair, let's just to put a cap on this conversation for another time. Like to be fair, he was a preteen for coerced into piloting a military grade mech into fighting these alien creatures.
That's every anime though, bro. They're preteens that have to do something to save the world.
No excuse. Anyway, no excuse. No excuse. None. None whatsoever. So back to the better Shinji.
So then there's another attack by another kaiju called Gabora, and it's basically like a giant mole with drills.
I love Gabora. The design of a Gabora is pretty fucking cool, in my opinion.
And of course, our first encounter with Gabora is highlighted by Ultraman's initial attack.
And Gabora goes after a nuclear waste facility, which,
Like you do.
I'm like, is it going to eat the waste? Because that might be beneficial.
What?
Unless it tries to evolve like Shin Godzilla did.
Yeah, that would be a problem. I was like, oh, we have all this waste. Oh, it's getting rid of it. Oh, well, we have more room for more waste.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Oh no.
I feel like that would have been bad. I feel like it would have evolved if it did that. So that's why I have a theory that Shin Godzilla was in this world, because that's when they're like, oh, it's going for nuclear waste. Oh, no. We're not doing this. We're not going to have another one of those on our hands. Or no.
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
But then
Wag the
Ultraman
finger.
conveniently shows up again to fight it, and it's a cool fight. Like how he grabs the drill and it's like spinning in his hands. You're like, doesn't that freaking hurt? And I'm like, maybe it does, but it's not
It's
going
a
to stop Ultraman. He's going to deflect it. It's going to hit the wall behind him. This is going to hit the other wall behind him. And then he's going to like flip him over and grab him and then swing around like Bowser Mario 64 and just send him flying.
Jesus. Did it ever occur to you that that drill might have been fleshy?
Ew.
A fleshy drill?
Like it's made of cartilage or it's made of...
Yeah, like a harder cartilage. Like it didn't look completely solid.
Well, it was in true camp fashion where like I think that was just the material that was made up of the suit. So whenever the drill would open and it would just flopping around, it's just like, yeah, they didn't use sturdy enough material for that.
Well, I think all of it was CGI in the first place. But nonetheless, I'm like, I had a moment, I'm like, is that drill what if that drill's actually very fleshy? That's gross. And then it opens up like a flower revealing the head of the creature. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that.
And it has its own radiation beam that Ultraman was blocking, but then he's like, no, I'm going to take it in the chest. Because there's people
I'm gonna take it like a boss.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to hurt the people. Yeah, Ultraman freaking rocked in both of those fights. Like the first fight, it's so one-sided. He's like T-arm beam thing. And I'm like, that's an odd pose, but it works. This one, he's just like, I'm gonna brave this, and I'm gonna beat the hell out of this Gabora.
And he does.
Yes.
And then that's the last kaiju.
Yeah, unfortunately. But then it starts... I guess technically there's others, but that's the last kaiju that you expect.
Yeah.
So they're back at base compiling their data, and then suddenly all of it just shuts down and it's erased, and they don't know what's going on. And then there's just this alien in a cloak, like a trench coat and hat.
Yes, he's wearing a trench coat and hat, like he just stepped out of a fucking noir movie from the 1930s.
Or like two kids trying to get into a noir movie in the 1930s.
Exactly. He has the hat been pushed up forward and shit. I'm like, Sabaro, what the fuck are you doing?
So yeah, he says his name is Zarub, and he's like, yeah, when I showed up, I accidentally deleted all your data. Let me fix that. And he just thinks it, and all the data comes back. All the electronics is working again. And then he's like, I just want to establish an accord with Japan's government. And it has a scene of like all these different government officials in Japan vying to get Zarub's favor. I think it's for political control.
Yeah.
Then Kaminaga learns that Zerub is like, yeah, I'm actually going to influence all the countries on the planet to just destroy each other by triggering conflict.
Like you do.
Like
He's
you
like, I'm going to pull
do.
the strings.
And then Shinji's like, no. And Zerub's like, yes. And just took him.
Yeah, Shinji's like, I'm going to stop you. And Zerub's like, no, you're not. And they do this in a car. They
They
just meet up
do.
in a car.
They meet up in a car. What is this movie?
It's a little odd, but Zerub tranquilizes him, knocks him out, and then turns him invisible.
They vanished. Yeah, he
Yep.
kidnaps him.
And during this time, you have the dynamic between Asami and Shinji is just like, she's the new person and she's very good at her job. She's like, Shinji, you're my partner. You're my buddy. We got to work together. And then
Oh,
Kaminaga's like, I work alone.
oh my God. Her name is Asami.
Yes.
Oh my God. Sorry. That's another character's name from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I'm going to have to
Never
watch this
mind.
anime to get the references, but okay.
I was let me double check because I'm pretty sure it's the German girl. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Okay. She's Hiroko Asami.
No, never mind. Wait, yes. Was Asami? Oh God.
So while you're looking up that,
Yeah, continue.
creates this illusion of Ultraman and makes it look like he's destroying parts of I don't know if it specified which city. It just says that he makes Ultraman look like he's destroying things. And then now Japan's like, I thought Ultraman was our ally. Is he our enemy now? So there's that internal conflict that they have of Japan. Ultraman saved us, but now he's destroying us.
Yeah.
And so do we have to kill him right back or what?
Yeah. And no, I was incorrect.
And then there's leaked footage of Kaminaga transforming into Ultraman with a device. I think it's called the beta capsule.
It looks like the freaking laser thingy, memory wiper from Men in Black,
It does.
but Japanese.
Actually, it's an apt way to describe it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, where did this footage come from? Because it comes from like all these different angles.
Yeah.
Almost like
somebody was
someone-
like, oh my God, I get the right angle. We're going to do it from this angle
like
and then
they
do it from
knew
this
he
angle.
was gonna be in that exact spot, and they had cameras all set around, almost like they made a movie out of this. But that does remind me of like other times when they showed footage of Ultraman fighting the other two kaiju. They didn't just replay scenes from the movie, they just shot it from different angles. I'm like, see, that's how you find footage. You don't just be like, oh wow, check out this camera footage, and it's like from Ultraman's POV or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So now everyone's looking for Kaminaga. But Asami gets a letter, and it's the beta capsule. Basically, he left it. Did he leave it behind, or did he just mail it? Like, I don't know how he got it to her.
I think he left it behind.
But how
That
did
would have
it
been
end up-
dumb.
I was like, how did it end up in an envelope?
Because he probably put it in the envelope. I don't know. No, he went to his local UPS, delivered it, just knowing he was going to get in trouble. He's like, let me go take care of this real quick. We can stop at UPS.
The United Postal Service.
Yo,
is-
Zorabab, or whatever the fuck your name is. Can you drop over there UPS, please? God, this movie.
But how they worked out where he is, they somehow tracked him. Like he dropped invisible ink from his body as he was passed out. And then they found the building, and then Asami goes to the building and frees him. And then he's like, well, here's your beta capsule back.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think they meet up where Zarab is currently using this illusion, and then
Yeah.
Asami ends up getting picked up by Zarab. But
Yeah.
then also, it's like, oh, here's the beta capsule to Shinji, and then he transforms, and then fucking smacks Zarab, catches Asami as she's flown up way into the air, and then sets her down gently. And then, I was like, and then Zarab and Shinji fight briefly. It seems kind of one sided. I don't know. I watched this yesterday, and I'm having spots in my memory.
the-
But after that's taken, like basically he slices Zara with like some disc attack.
yeah. Him as disc attack.
That one actually caught me off guard. I was like, wait, when can he do that?
But he defeats Zerob.
Yeah, but it's like the world is saved for now. And then
No, it's not.
Kaminaga has to go into hiding because everyone knows he's Ultraman. And then
Yeah.
it's like, if we can control Ultraman, we can control the world. And then
And then the next part.
yeah,
The next part.
Asami is
I
kidnapped and transformed into a giant woman
was like,
by
what is that?
by some other creature called Mephiles.
I was like, what is
Mephiles.
this? Giant woman. Is this the movie with the 50-foot tall giant woman? Which we need to add that to the list of films to do because that's an old school horror movie. Oh god, I lost my shit. I had a good laugh when I saw Asami become a fucking ridiculously tall giant woman, suspiciously tall giant woman.
And then they meet up with the alien, and he just looks like a normal human. And he's so polite, and he keeps quoting phrases, and he's like, one of my favorite sayings. And he has a lot of these.
And they don't really make sense, especially with the context he's trying to use them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, do as the Romans do. One of my favorite sayings is like, okay.
What?
Okay.
And then like, we need proof that you're an alien. And he's like, all right. And then he summons like basically this giant metal briefcase looking thing that looks like the beta capsule. And he uses it to revert Asami back to normal size.
Yeah.
But before that, the government had to intervene and like, well, we can't kill her because she's still a person. But she does fall over, and then they like cover her in tarps and rope, just tie her down, and they're like, it's like Gulliver's Travels.
Oh my god.
But then Mephiles, I'm not sure how you're supposed to say this. He's basically like, I just made Asami big to demonstrate the power of this device that I have. Basically, it'd be more effective than making nukes. Giant humans destroying anything and everything.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'll let you guys have this technology. I just want you to recognize me as the supreme being or concept. I don't know how he describes himself, but he's basically like, you're going to obey me. I'm your god.
I'm your
now."
god now.
Exactly. And I think pretty much all the government, like, pretty much every government official is like, oh, yeah, totally. We'll do this. We'll sign an agreement. And then, like, Mephiles meets up with Kaminaga, and I think they're just having ramen. Or,
Yeah.
I'm
Something
not
like
sure. They're just meeting up in just a public place, and they're just discussing this plan. And Kaminaga's like, I don't agree with you. I kind of like humans. I don't want them to go extinct. And then, despite Mephiles having godly power, he's like, can we split the bill?
split the bill, motherfucker. You're an alien.
Exactly. And what they do, the plan to hijack this box is they're like, okay, Asami, I need to get a good whiff of you. I need to recognize your scent. And so he's just sniffing her all over, and she comments that she hasn't like taken a shower in a few days from being giant. But then he's like, that
Okay.
doesn't matter. But I got the scent now. And they're using a concept they refer to as like the plank brain, which kind of sounds like manipulating an alternate dimension to get things to happen for you conveniently. So when this accord is happening, where both parties sign an agreement, the agreement is signed, but before the beta box can be used, um, Ultraman just suddenly appears. And then he gets the Ultra box. He gets the beta box. I'm reading this wrong. He gets the beta box and he just throws it into this helicopter and it lands perfectly. And then Ultraman and Mephilas fight briefly. And I'm thinking like, wow, this must be the end of the movie. But then there's more than 30 minutes left. There's another plot. You see someone in the background who looks like Ultraman, and then suddenly Mephilas is like, okay, just give me the beta box and I'll leave your planet alone. And he just disappears. And then we find out that this creature in the background is someone named Zophie, who's from the same planet as Ultraman. And then the SSSP are detained because they helped Ultraman, but they're soon released after the chief is like, yeah, Ultraman coerced them, so they didn't have a choice. You can let them go now. And then we're back at that forest scene where, remember when Kaminaga saved that child from earlier?
Yeah.
There's also a body here. And we find out that Kaminaga was killed when Ultraman landed. And so Ultraman fused with Shinji, and now basically he's half human, half Ultraman now.
Uh-huh.
Or whatever species Ultraman is classified as.
Uh-huh.
And then Sophie goes, Ultraman, you broke our code because you merged with a human, or I guess merging with any kind of intelligent life that isn't them. And he's convinced that humanity is going to pose a threat if they could evolve into giants. So we're going to destroy the entire planet with a weapon called Zeton.
Basically, to paint a picture for you all, Zophie is like Ultraman's supervisor, or he's like the assistant supervisor, while where the main supervisor tells the assistant supervisor, tell the employee he fucked up. Basically, he came to Earth and be like, so now I have to clean up your mess. So you're fired.
And as for Zeton, this thing, I swear it's like something out of Tengen Toppa and Lagann. It is massive, and its only purpose is to assemble, float above the earth, and then make an extremely powerful. Is it just a beam or just a source? Basically, it's going to use the massive heat of something stronger than a million suns to destroy the entire solar system.
It's
So
like
it's not enough to destroy Earth. It's like we got to destroy your entire solar system.
we're gonna destroy you, your star, your other planets, and that one moon in the back next to Pluto. We're gonna destroy that too.
Not Charon.
But like, this weapon is like, it's in the shape of a humanoid, but it's like a skeleton. Or at least that's the impression I got. It kind of looks like a skeleton, but it's in like the weird shape of like a humanoid. I'm like, does this look like a skeleton of an Ultraman?
And now we come to our final moments where Kaminaga warns the SSSP of what's happening. He's like, here's the flash drive, study it's basically like how to make the beta capsule. And then Ultraman's gonna try and stop Zeton, which he does nothing. It just smacks him down in one hit. And now
Yeah.
he's just in the hospital.
Yeah. Guy's ass beat.
And so, yeah, everyone is naturally curious as to what this floating thing in the sky is. And I like how it's just looming in the background. Like, you can't see all the details of it, but it looks pretty much like how you can see the moon during the day. It kind of looks like that, but in the shape of a humanoid. And the government's like, we're not going to tell anybody that they're going to die. We're just let them live out their final day. And then one of the characters, Taki, opens up the flash drive, sees that it's how to build a beta capsule. And then he's like, okay, we're going to converse with the greatest minds in the world with a VR headset. And I think this is the only time in the movie where any of the characters speak English.
Yeah.
And while Kaminaga's in the hospital, he's asleep for quite a while. I don't know how long, but eventually he wakes up, and then Taki's like, okay, we actually found a way. Like, I know Zeton basically bitch slapped you down back to Earth, but we found a way to beat him. But a lot of shit has to go right. And I'm gonna say right now, I want to call bullshit on how this all happens. I like how it happens, but at the same time, I'm like, no fucking way you can do this. But I accept it. Basically, they bring in the concept of the plank brain again, and you have to open up a black hole and ignite the beta capsule 1 millisecond before Zeton fires its heat wave. Not 1 second, not 1 split second, 1 millisecond. And there's even a timer countdown that shows you when it's happening. And when it gets down to like the last second, it has to slow down so that each millisecond is passing by every second, but it feels like it's still moving in normal time. Like Ultraman decided to get extra fast.
It's fucking insane. This looks like a literal Japanese anime.
Yep,
Which is the vibe.
Yes, and it worked. But Ultraman's trying to like fly out of the pool of the black hole and he can't do it. But Zophie shows up to rescue him. And Zophie's like, okay, I'm impressed with your will to survive, humanity's will to survive. I guess that's the human side of you. Could you I want to invite you back to our planet. And Ultraman's like, no, I don't want to go back. I have to stay and protect Earth. And then Ultraman decides, because Zophie's refusing to settle for this. So Ultraman decides to sacrifice himself to resurrect Kaminaga. But I don't know. Hang on. So Zophie is like, I don't really like this, but okay. And then they meet Kaminaga as he's returned to Earth. And then that's when the movie ends. Kaminaga's
Basically.
back, but Ultraman is gone.
He got fired and collected.
This movie was so entertaining.
It was. I do gotta say though, the scene with the black hole was kind of cool. I mean, that was kind of rad how they did it.
Kind of rad.
Yeah, like I like how they did it, how it looked and shit.
It was totally rad.
Tubular, bro.
That was Mondo cool.
Ugh, God, how old are we?
Some of us are in our 30s.
Yeah, I think half of us here are in our 30s and the other half are in our late 20s.
Late 20s, early 30s. We're all around the same age.
Why are we talking like this?
Because we talked like this once upon a time.
Because
No,
we
we
saw
didn't.
pop media that glorified this as a catchphrase, and we were like, "Oh, that sounds cool, so let's do it." And then we're like, "Tubular."
Tubular, bro.
I'm just like, excuse me, but like I knew from the start that no one talked like that. Like even when they would like make those promotional like any kind of promotion, any kind of commercial, and they like have the actors say tubular, gnarly, rad. I'm just like, ugh. No
No,
one talks like
rad.
that shit.
No. Some I did hear rad growing up.
That's fair. I did too.
I heard rad, but I never heard like tubular. God, we're really
Tubular.
carbon dating
We'll
ourselves.
just make up our own words. Like they already have definitions, but we'll just change them by the power of incessant use. That fight was so
Slay.
rancid.
That rancid.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, we're
If it
Yeah,
old.
catches
We're
somebody
all
better
on,
stop
old.
this.
it might work if it
Oh
catches
my
on.
God.
Somebody better come get our
Oh.
crusty asses because we need it. Like someone needs to
We
stop it.
all old.
The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
The what?
And the Crypt Keeper.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky
Oh
Friday.
god.
Yeah, we are old.
Okay, how old were you guys when the original Lord of the Rings came out?
Oh god, let me Lord. We're going tangent. Lord of the Rings. When the first one come out?
Maybe 10 years old.
Let's see. First Lord of the Rings, not the animated movie. I'm talking about the actual
Peter Jackson.
2001. 2001, I
Jesus.
would have been 9.
I
Yes,
would have
9.
been. Shit, how old was I? 6? Hold on.
You were 6 because I was 7.
Yeah, because I didn't turn 7 until late. Like I don't turn like my like I didn't turn 7 until like late that year. So I was 6 throughout most of the year.
No, you were 7 because the movie came out in December
Oh,
2021.
oh, yeah.
So you were
Yep.
7.
I
was
would
about
have
to
been
say,
I would have
If
been
it-
8. I would have been 8.
7, 8.
if it had come out before November, then I would have been 9, but I would be 10.
I was
So
9.
8 years old is whenever my love and obsession
Wait,
for elves came to be.
housekeeper, you're young. You're 2 years younger than me, right?
I was 94.
Yeah, you're 2 years younger than me. So you still be 7. Because when's your?
April.
Yeah, you still would have been 7.
So then he wouldn't be 7
No.
because he Kaiju Groupie was not born in 94.
Yeah, I was.
You were.
Yeah, November 94.
Yeah, you two are the same age.
Mm.
So you both would have been 7. I would have been 9, and Bunyip would have been 10.
Well, wait a minute. That makes no sense. Were you held back a year?
I started a year. I know I started a year later than what I was supposed to. Both my brother and I did because we were both November babies.
That's why. Because see, I was held back a year.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to graduate 2012.
Yeah, no, they didn't let either of us start until the following year. So I'd always be like, I like for the first few months of the semester, I'd be the same age as everybody, and then November comes and like, oh, I'm suddenly the oldest person in this class.
I honestly didn't care if I was older than everybody in my class.
See, I didn't at first, but then people started pointing it out, and I'm like, okay.
No
I'm a
one.
spring baby, so I didn't really care.
I'm a spring
Al-
baby.
Also, like it really like was put into perspective for me when my teacher decided like she wanted like to line everyone up based on their birthdays, and I'm over here in November. I was the only November kid. There was no December kids in that class. So I was just standing at the end by myself, and they were asking everyone like their name, like okay, exact birth dates and what age you are. And here I am, November, by myself, and I was already older than everybody. And they're like, "Wait, if you're older, then why are you in this class?" And I'm like, "No."
But
It's
yeah,
a
we old. We
weird.
old.
Put me
I
on
was
the spot.
9. But yet I didn't see the first Lord of the Rings movie till I was in my 20s.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
watched
I was
it
in my
before it
20s.
came out,
Nope, I did not watch it when it came
Same.
out. Nope, nope.
and
I didn't care to.
that was the start of, well, my whole family is like big nerds, you know.
I mean, the same.
So like it was kind of unavoidable to watch this movie.
I don't
And
know why my mom didn't take me and my brother to see this movie for whatever reason, but
it's
nah.
not a movie for children. That was not a movie for children.
I
But
never thought it.
no, dude, like
I mean, to be fair, I saw Van Helsing as a child, so I'm like, I don't think Lord of the Rings would have been that bad.
that's fair. But
I first
Would have
saw
been that bad.
also to be fair, I also saw An American Werewolf in London when I was a kid.
your
We
mother,
need to do.
hold on, your mother let you watch American Werewolf in London?
No wonder you turned out
For,
gay.
for whatever reason.
she wouldn't let you watch other shit, but she would let you watch that.
No wonder you're gay.
So
Kaiju Groupie?
I never.
No wonder why
So
he's obsessed with werewolves.
shut up. I mean, you're right, but shut up. Putting me on the spot. No, my mom was weird. So like she would watch certain movies, especially if they were rated like PG-13 and up. Like she would watch it before my brother and I would even be allowed anywhere near it. But sometimes there were some movies that would slip through the cracks. Like an American Werewolf in London, it came out on Sci-Fi, and I watched it, and she didn't know. So
Well,
like
that explains so much.
So like there was a lot of movies that like she like if it was on cable, if it was on Dish Network or whatever the hell we had at the time, like I'd find out about it and then like I'd be like, "Oh, this movie looks good." Commercials for it look good. And I'm like, "Oh, but mom probably wouldn't let me watch it." So but she wouldn't even be paying attention. She'd just think we're watching Disney Channel or Cartoon Network or something. And then like if we wanted to see the movie in theater, that's when she would be like, "All right, hold on, I gotta check it out first." And then she would check it out and be like, "Nope, I saw a lot of chichas in there." I'm like, "Woman, you literally just
No.
woman, you just let us watch a movie, like another movie, but it had like it didn't have a lot of dick, but it had a whole lot of naked men in there. Like the fuck." Well, she's like, "That's
Again.
different. Like that's different. It's guys. You're boys, okay?" And I'm like, "Okay, still."
Little did she know.
Little did she know.
She
I
was
liked it.
raising a queer.
She didn't find that out until I was in my mid-20s.
That's why I had to hide all nudity from kids. Until they start asking questions.
Oh, God. But, ladies and gents, if you know Kaiju Groupie, the fact that they watched American Werewolf in London as a child explains so much on how they turned out. We will do American Werewolf in London on this show at some point in time. And let me tell you, it's gay. And I was living. Anyway, back to the movie at hand. Please excuse our tangent. I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of people that listen to this podcast anyway, and if they are not talking to us. So it's like, do y'all care about the tangents? Because sometimes they're entertaining. So who cares if we have a tangent? Honestly, it's back to the movie at hand. What?
Some people like the tea.
You're gay? Yeah.
That and they just
Or
like
your
the drink.
gay? Your gay origins?
See,
American Werewolf in London.
I don't even know sometimes. Like I don't even know where it all began. Did it begin with American Werewolf in London? Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, I can tell you the exact movie that started mine. So, I mean, yeah. A little animated movie with a blonde captain of the guard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, Shin Ultraman. Did y'all enjoy this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
I just wanted more kaiju fights. Like not like the first two, amazing, but I was kind of expecting it to be like, oh no, here comes a giant pangolin or something. I don't know I don't know all the kaijus, but like imagine something else shows up. It's like, oh, how's Ultraman gonna deal with this? Like I was getting into it like that, but then it changed the plot halfway through. It's like, oh no, we have to do political intrigue now, and then fight.
Right. Oh no, giant
Hey,
woman.
we need another Pacific Rim or another movie like Pacific Rim. Giant kaiju fights. More Godzilla. Just give us more.
I mean, new Godzilla
We're
movie
gonna
coming out next year, so
Yeah, and then of course we got Godzilla -1 coming out later this year.
yes. Can't wait. We
Uh
will do -1 on this show though. We will. That'll be a December episode.
they are definitely returning to their horror roots with this one.
I hope so. So, rating system 1 out of 1 out of those logo plushies.
Oh yes, the star plushie.
1 out of 5-star
I
plushies.
noticed it in the background, like, oh, that's kind of cute, and then the camera would
I
focus on it on
I know.
sometimes.
I want the star plushie. They're at a corporate meeting. Like, you know what we need? A star plushie.
We need our
What?
logo, but with eyes and arms, and it's ready to
And
give you a hug.
legs. And it looks cute and derpy. We need it. And someone's like, done. So 1 out of 5-star plushies. We'll go down the list, but yep.
I want to give it 4. Almost 4.5. Just that fifth one would have some stuffing missing, so it's not quite as huggable.
Okay. Okay. A 4 out of 5
Yeah,
star plushies. Okay.
pretty much. I
For
was
m-
into it from the beginning because of the fighting and how the SSSP is basically a communication center trying to
yeah.
negotiate with the military. Like, okay, we got to take this thing down, but carefully. Like, we don't want to harm any citizens or cause collateral damage. But they're not doing the best job because, like, oh no, we tried 2 things and they didn't work. What the hell do we do now? And then Ultraman shows up and takes care of everything and then flies off. And it's like, who is that man? We're going to call him Ultraman. And then he shows up again and kicks ass. And, like, basically, the first half of the movie, I loved it. The second half, I didn't hate it, but it didn't go the direction I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something to count or really against the movie. It seems more like a personal thing. I don't know exactly what holds it back from like me giving it a 5. I guess because I wasn't that excited, but I did like this movie, so I'm sticking with 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yep.
For me, I'm going to rate this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Loved it. Great. Full camp. Ridiculous to the max. I was just like, what the fuck am I? This is so ridiculous in some parts. And then, like, I liked the first half of the film. The second half of the film had its moments. I liked, again, the black hole, the final battle at the end, how they got rid of the weapon, and the black hole and how they did that effect was pretty cool. But yeah, 3.5. It's not as good as Shin Godzilla, but it's better than Shin Kamen Rider. Yeah, it's a little better than Shin Kamen Rider. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Housekeeper?
Agree with like a 3.5. Whenever I originally went to go see this movie, I had no idea what the fuck I was going to be getting into. I'm not going to lie. Like, and I watched throughout this entire movie and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Right?
I was like, what is this? Okay, well, hold on. I couldn't I couldn't wrap my head around it. I thought it was a good movie. I just didn't know exactly what I was watching. And then and then when I saw Kinjiro, I was like, wait, I'd like insert Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Like I was like, wait a minute. I lost my shit. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is worth the movie. This is worth the what, $13 it costs to watch this movie. And then I went back to rewatch it again today. I watched it today. I forgot how long the movie was, but I enjoyed it a little bit more now that I knew what I was getting into. Thanks, Kaiju Groupie.
You're welcome.
Because it's like, do you know about do you know about Shin Utraman? Nope. Okay, well, we're watching this movie, and I was like, oh, okay. I'll just,
Should have went.
yeah, you should have
Didn't.
went. I think that you would have really enjoyed it if we were all there. But yeah, it was a fun movie. It was fun to watch. You know, it did remind me a lot of like an old time anime or old time, like very old school Power Rangers. Excuse me, jeez. Or like very old school like Japanese films like that are similar to Shin Ultraman. So it's a fun little watch. So yeah, I'll give it a 3.5.
Alrighty, and I will also give it a 4.5
Oh,
because it was
0.5.
I liked it. Um, I can't really give it a full 5 because it was even I was like, what is this? Like, I know Ultraman is somewhat connected to Toho Scope, the creators of Godzilla, and it's just all part of that giant monster genre that was connected in some way to the Godzilla franchise, especially because of how like they would recycle a lot of the old Godzilla rubber suits for their show, and they would like edit it and they just make it look so much more like whimsical or different, and it was just silly. And I like the callback they did for that throughout this movie. Like I like the first half, just because like yeah we got more of the giant the kaiju fights and everything like that. I just felt like it was just too silly because the trying to like because filming it as a like stylized like an anime, it just didn't make it like I couldn't take the movie that seriously. Um, so like the first half of the movie, second half, it was kind of like I'm like, wait, what? Who who are these guys now? So we went from kaiju to aliens that can like increase their size of a kaiju, and it kind of got into like a interplanetary politics kind of deal where like, oh, aliens are trying to make deals with us, like we'll give you technology if you make us your overlords, or uh, and then Earth quickly got swept up into this whole like ordeal, like, oh, we can't allow humans to get this technology, we're going to destroy them. Uh, enough. I had another point and I like lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Uh,
It's like it
excuse
had
me.
5 plot arcs in the span of 2 hours.
Yeah,
That's what I was.
it
That's what I was going to get at.
it felt like multiple episodes of something put into a movie.
yeah.
That's what I was going to get at. It felt like it was a TV show condensed into a singular movie, which is why like it was very long, had multiple different plots, and with little to no transition between each plot. They just went from one like crisis to the next, and I was just like, wait, hold up! I feel like we need an intermission here. Like roll credits and then roll the opening, and there we go. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good movie. I know it's not going to be a part of the new Japanese MonsterVerse. It was just this movie is connected, of course, to Shin Ultraman. It was all done by the same director. I'm sorry,
Well,
Shin Kamen Rider.
yeah. So the director of this movie is the oh god, where is it? So the creator of the Shin Japan Hero Universe is the guy who did Neon Justice Evangelion. He didn't direct this movie, he wrote it. And the director of this movie was the director from he helped with the Shin Godzilla film. He was a co-director of the Shin Godzilla film. Because Shin Kamen Rider was also, the guy who wrote this movie as well. But this movie, he is the only one he did not direct. They did not have some part in directing it.
Right. And now, even though this movie's not going to be connected to the greater Godzilla, greater MonsterVerse of Japan, I think they might end up bringing Ultraman back,
I'm sure.
but it's going to be completely different from this movie, and it's all going to like tie together more seamlessly. And we may actually finally see Ultraman go up against Godzilla, which is awesome because like next to Ultraman, there's like one other kaiju that fans have always wanted to see Godzilla fight, and that's Gamera. But although Gamera is not a part of the new MonsterVerse,
What's the first movie in the new MonsterVerse?
I think it's going to be -1.
Is it -1?
I think because I know like they were going to kickstart, like Telescope was going to kickstart a whole new MonsterVerse, and it was going to start with the very next Godzilla. What?
What are you trying to look it up?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a question we'll have to answer later because I cannot.
Find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a 4.5.
0.87.
What's the average?
3.87.
3.87. If you like Shin Godzilla, go watch Shin Ultraman. It's cool. Yay. And that will conclude the month of Kaiju. Kaiju month. Kaiju themed month. Dun dun dun. So next time when we go into September, we're going to be doing something else. What? We're going to be doing a series of films.
Ooh.
There's 5 of them.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, 4 because the third one's trash.
And we're not.
We'll
we
get
don't
it.
talk
Should
about that
we?
one.
Huh?
What?
I don't talk about the third one. I hate
don't-
the third one so much.
We don't talk about the third one.
You don't like the third one either?
We don't talk
We don't
about.
talk about Bruno.
We
don't
are
talk
going to talk about it.
I hate the third one. I know, and I'm gonna drag it. I'm gonna drag her. So, what's that series we're talking about? You may ask. It's evil
And
and dead
Yeah.
and Sam
And-
Raimi. So that'll be the month of September. So look forward to that. So until then, catch you on the flip side, and we're gonna be doing more kaiju films throughout. I'm sure. Well, a kaiju film will come back, especially in December with Godzilla -1. I'm definitely gonna want to do an episode on that. So that'll be in a couple months anyway. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Catch y'all next time as I do something else. Until then, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All late.